Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Mariah and this is Woolen Words, my knitting podcast and channel where I talk about knitting stuff and crochet and books and all kinds of hobbies that I am into. So welcome to my fourth podcast. Today I'm sorry if you can hear the dog barking every once in a while. It's my neighbor's dog and it loves to bark at nothing. So anyway, today's an exciting podcast because I actually have some progress to show you guys. So we're going to get into it. My first finished object that I want to share with you guys, I'm so excited about. As you can probably see, this is the next piece to my hummingbird sweater. This is the front. Obviously it has the neck shaping and I think it actually came out really well. I'm super excited. Let me see if I can show you kind of what it looks like. I wove in the ends. I never know what the past tense of weave is and I always forget to check. Anyway, I took care of all the ends and I think it looks pretty darn good. And I also have the back. This is the first panel that I did. And I've had this done for a while now, but I can finally say that I have the front done as well. So the last podcast I did, this little stitch marker is where I was at. So I managed to do all of this and the shaping in, I guess, what has it been since I did another podcast, like a month ago maybe? But I'm so excited because now I'm finally working on the first sleeve. We are making progress on that too, but I'll talk about that later. The yarn that I'm using for this is Brooklyn Tweed's Pieri line, and there's like 6 different colors that I'm gonna use for all of it. But you can see all of the colors here in the stripy part, the color work part, I guess. I just call it the stripes. So we have this like really pale green, which kind of shows up as a white. I think it's called sea glass. And then this blue color, I think it's called Admiral. And then this purple, like light purple color, don't remember the name for that one. And then this dark purple right here is called Cobbler. And then this green right here, I also forgot the name. And then the red, I don't remember the name, but it's like a brick red. It's really pretty. It is 100% wool. It is not superwash. The pattern is the hummingbird pattern. I'll have like a little thing on screen to tell you who it's by. I found it in a magazine that I had to go hunting for. If you want to know more about this sweater, I have 2 or 3 other podcasts where I talk about it, so definitely check those out. They give you like all the details, all the rundown, how I found the pattern, where I found the pattern. And also I'm making this sweater for my nana, my grandma, my mom's mom. She loves hummingbirds and she also loves maroon, like dark red. And so she will love this sweater, but I wanted to make it for her because she crochets baby blankets for literally everybody's baby that she has ever known, and also like queen size blankets for us just whenever she has the time or feels like it, I guess. So it's really special and I feel like I want to make something that I made for her to kind of give back to her. But yeah, so this is really special and I'm really excited to finish it. I need to make a video how I did this color work because I call it cheated. I cheated on the Intarsia color work, but I should probably make a video about that because I could not find any videos of making it simpler, and I think I did a pretty good job for my first sweater and my first color work ever. So I'm really excited that I finally am making a lot of progress on this sweater. I started it last June, took a few months off, didn't do much over the holidays, but I'm back on it. We are going strong. And I know technically this is not a finished object, but I'm counting it because my gosh, this is a lot of work and I have worked very hard on it and I wanted to congratulate myself. So this is a finished object. Even though the entire sweater is not finished. But I'm counting it, okay? I'm giving it to myself. We are celebrating our wins here. My next finished object that technically is also not finished, but it's gonna take me like another day to do. I'm making some leaf coasters for my friend. She found an Instagram reel of these leaf coasters. They are like monstera leaves and they're super adorable. And so she sent me the reel and I had to kind of dig around and find a TikTok that linked me back to a YouTube video of how to do all of this. This little pattern was in the description of a TikTok video that I found. This girl made these leaf coasters and they're absolutely adorable. And I don't know where she found this pot pattern or if she just made it up herself, but it works really well. And then these monstera leaves are from a YouTube video. The person who made the YouTube video made earrings, like crochet earrings, and I looked in the comments and kind of just also estimated myself how to size it up. So I'm using obviously heavier weight yarn and a bigger hook, and then I found someone in the comments who said they sized them up as well, and I kind of made them kind of conglomerate of all of those things. But she wanted these like darker leaf colors and then also a brighter green. So when I have all of them, I'm gonna make 8 coasters in total. When I have all of them, it'll kind of look like a variegated plant, just like different colored leaves. I thought that was going to be really cute. They work up super quick. They are not hard to make at all, so I'm going to make 8 for her, and she's really excited about it. So that's my other finished object. Now we're going to go into works in progress. I have a few more, some of them that I have not worked on, I'm going to be honest. So I'll kind of start with that one. I mentioned in my last podcast that I was working on some socks, basically just to have a simple, easy pattern to just knit on whenever I feel like it, but I haven't been working on it, so I guess I haven't been feeling like it. I believe it's in this bag. These adorable, adorable bags that I mention in every single video. They're from Paper Crane Yarns. Super cute, and I love them so, so much. But yes, this has not made any progress since I last showed you, I don't think. Maybe I have a few more rows up here. But I am just helical knitting these toe-up socks for my husband. That is why it is this massive looking sock. We both have really big feet, which is kind of funny. So our socks look like giant, but I promise they fit, and we just have big feet. Our poor future kids are just gonna have the longest legs and the biggest feet. So I'm sorry to them in advance. I'm just using Patton's Crochet sock yarn. I think it's called like Sidewalk Colors, and then also Blue Brown Marl, which you can't find anymore. So that's why I am using both colors. I'm following Nimble Needles YouTube video pattern on toe-up socks. So that is in progress. So another one that I have not worked on since my last podcast, or maybe I worked on it like right after my last podcast and then I kind of put it aside for a while. This one's gonna be noisy, hold on. I like keeping all of my yarn and crochet hooks and everything that I need for one project in one bag. So I use what I got, you know? Some are in paper bags, some are in actual project bags, canvas bags, and then some of them are just in plastic bags. This is a raccoon that I am making for my dad. He is basically collecting a zoo from me. He has so many of my little stuffed animals, amigurumi, that I have made. I used to have a little Etsy shop. I mean, I guess I technically still have the Etsy shop, but I haven't sold anything on it in a really long time. Anyway, I am making him a raccoon. This is the only thing I have so far, but I did the eyes and then I put them on the face, the head. So this is what it looks terrifying. I know this is one of those patterns where you're like, trust the process, because I promise when I first made this, I was like, there's no way that it's gonna look proportionate or like a raccoon when I first made it, but it does. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust the pattern, and it's a paid pattern on Etsy. So I was like, let's just give it a shot, and it actually turned out pretty darn similar to the photos that were given for the pattern. So it is definitely a trust the process one. I'm cruising along on this. This is just using basic acrylic yarn from, I think, like Hobby Lobby. It's just whatever brand they have in black, white, and gray. As I mentioned, I'm still making more of those leaf coasters. They, like I said, are super quick to make. I'm gonna make 4 more, so there's a total of 8, because I feel like 8 is a good number for a set of coasters. It's like if they have people over, they also have enough for the other people. It's not just like 2 or 4. I don't know. Okay, and my last work in progress is, of course, the hummingbird sweater, which I am working on the sleeve. Let me grab it for you. Here is the sleeve so far. There are lots of colors attached to the side, and it is worked flat. I guess I showed you the back, sorry. This is the sleeve. This is the right sleeve. So it is going to be like that. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? It's gonna be so good. It does have this kind of slightly like poofy sleeve. Is it called like a bubble sleeve? But like the ribbing is super tight, super fitting, I guess. It definitely fits my wrist. And then it poofs out for the color work, so it's pretty loose here, but it's gonna be great. And then it kind of cinches a little bit and goes into the bird pattern again. So there are birds on the sleeve, and then you go into shaping for the shoulder. But it is worked flat, so I am just carrying the yarn up the side because it'll be all covered when I sew the thing together anyway. And it shouldn't be too bad to like be on the inside of the sleeve. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think it'll be a problem that it's like on the inside of the sleeve. I can also be sure to tack these down when I am sewing it together. But yes, this is that stripy pattern, colorwork pattern that I am working on that was also on the top of the sweater. So that's a really fun detail. I really like that it goes straight into the colorwork and then it'll go into the birds. I have one more set of the pattern and then I'll go into the birds. I'm really excited to get to the birds. I'm sure once I'm working on the birds, it might not be that exciting. It's the part that takes the longest because you have to read the chart and like count the tiny little squares, but I am excited because the closer I get to being done, the closer I get to being able to finish the sweater and give it to my nana. So I'm really excited for that. So those are all the things that I am working on. I promise I will start the poncho at some point. I made a video winding all of the yarn for the poncho that I'm gonna make. If you've seen my other podcasts, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen my other podcast, I'm talking about the Soundstone Poncho by Laura Schmidt. I am making a Texas landscape inspired version of that poncho. I'm using Destination Yarn, her DFW Fiberfest colorway from last year. I got all of the yarn and I made a video winding it up so that I can start the poncho whenever I'm ready. So that is coming. I will start it, I promise. I am just trying to not overwhelm myself by knitting and crocheting too much because then I get overwhelmed and then I don't want to work on anything. So I'm trying to finish enough projects so that I can get to it and enjoy it because I have to learn cabling. I've never done cabling before. And then of course my friends asked me to make stuff for them, so I am gonna work on that stuff because it's faster. They're quicker projects. I wanted to share with you an acquisition that I got, and it's just one and it's small and I just thought it was really cute, so I wanted to show you guys. It is another project bag. This one I got from the dollar spot section at Target. I think that's what they call it. But you know when you first walk in and there's like those little shelves of cheaper items. This was a cute little drawstring tote bag that they had for spring now that it's like Easter time, springtime. And I thought it was so cute. I love this purple color. I think it is so soft and delicate and like feminine and I love it. But I also love this like leaf design. I love plants. anything with flowers or plants. I'm a sucker for it. I can't help it. But I love that it had the drawstring at the top. So it's just empty inside. Like, there's no pockets or anything in here. It's just a canvas tote. And it's circular, which is nice. And it has the drawstring on top, which I thought was perfect for a project bag. And it was only $5. So I got one so that I can have more actual bags and not plastic bags for my project bags. So now I want to talk to you about things that I plan on making, my goals, intentions, aspirations. Like I said, the poncho, I will be making that so soon. I promise. I will make it. I'm very excited for it. Oh, I wonder if I could finish making it by the time we go to California later this year. Because it's so nice to have a poncho at night in California because the temperature drops so drastically. But I don't know if I could do it that fast. I don't know. It's DK weight, so it goes a lot faster, but I also don't know how much time it's going to take to make. But we'll see. But I'm really excited to make it. I think it's going to be so fun and so pretty. Oh, I'm just very excited. But the other thing that I am going to make is another thing for my friend, a different friend. She asked me to make some dog slippers or dog booties for her little dog. Her poor little dog got hurt a little while ago and is recovering and doing great. They just have to really take care of her while she's on bed rest and do a lot of things for her. So they wanted some little dog slippers for her tiny little paws. So I'm gonna make her some crochet dog slippers. I still haven't figured out exactly what I'm gonna do because there are surprisingly not a lot of patterns for dog booties. I mean, I think it'll be easy enough to figure out, so I'm not too worried about it. And she's a small dog, so they're gonna be super quick to make. I'll just have to make time to figure it out and see how big to make them for her tiny paws. Right now, that is all that is like for sure on my list of things that I want to make very soon. There are other things that I definitely want to make down the line, but I don't have specific plans yet. I don't have any like yarn or patterns for any of those, so we're just gonna wait and see when those eventually happen. And I want to get through some of these projects before I add to my list of I want to make that. So now just kind of catching up with you guys, life stuff. Oh wait, I forgot one thing. I was gonna share with you guys some books that I have been reading. So one book that I finished reading and I pre-ordered the sequel and I'm waiting to get that, but this is The Night and Its Moon by Piper CJ. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I feel like I might have now that I'm talking about it, but I finished this book. I thought it was so fun and sweet, and it's just like a cozy read. It's just like cozy and fun and easy, and I love it. I think it is so fun. There's lots of like folklore and it's very fantasy-esque, and I'm excited to read the next one. It literally comes out in a few days. It's gonna be fun to start reading that. But this one, I finished, loved it, it's great. Definitely recommend if you like those kinds of books, like fantasy, easy to read, kind of like diving into a new fantasy world, that kind of stuff. Magic, yeah, creatures, lots of fun stuff. The next one that I am reading, I know I definitely mentioned this in some other video that I made, I don't remember which one, but it is the sequel to the Atlas 6. It is the Atlas Paradox. I am like halfway through-ish so far, and I am enjoying it. It is a very different vibe. It is still like fantasy, magic stuff, but it is more grounded in reality, like our reality. It's also pretty cerebral. I wouldn't say it's like hard to understand or anything, but there's a lot of like philosophical talk and they talk about science and stuff like that. Like I said, in a very easy, simplistic way, but it is very interesting and it's very like dark academia vibes. And I am really enjoying it. I just haven't read it in maybe like a week or so, but definitely recommend if you like dark academia, magic, but still similar world to ours. It's like secret society type of stuff. Anyway, love it. Great. Good job. Good job to the author for that one. The next book that I am currently reading, well, actually, we haven't started it yet. Me and my husband are reading this series together because he never read them growing up, and I read them countless times over and over. I love these books to death. Everything about them is just perfection. And so we are on the 12th book, but we haven't started it yet. We just finished the 11th book, The Grim Grotto, in the series of unfortunate events, but this is the penultimate peril. It is the 12th book in the Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events. These books had a hold on me for since I picked them up in like 5th or 6th grade, and I just love them. I love them to death. Definitely shaped my like middle school era. But yeah, I love these books. They're children's books, but they are so freaking good, and they teach you new words. As a child, I learned so many words from this, but not in a condescending way. It is so beautiful how he masters explaining things to the audience without coming across as like, I'm an adult and you're a child and you don't know these things. Which is great. I love it. But this, as the title might suggest, is the second to last book. So there are 13 books. We are almost done with this series, which is crazy. We've been reading these for like a couple years now. And I'll read them out loud to him whenever we have some time. But yes, this one... I don't know how to respond to that. I didn't ask you. Siri is always interrupting. Anyway, there are 13 books. This is the 12th book. I'm really excited to get into this one because it is just such a fun read. I think this is one of the rare instances of where, as you read the series, the books get better and better. It's just great. All right, anyway, I need to stop talking about this book. I could literally talk about it for hours. Okay, so now we can go into life, a little bit of ketchup. Oh, ketchup. My dad loves ketchup. Little side note, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but just saying that reminded me. My dad loves ketchup. Like, it's his personality. So whenever he has like a birthday or people give him gifts, a lot of times they will give him something ketchup related. He has ketchup paintings. He has a jar that says, in case of emergency, break glass, and it's just a jar of ketchup packets. One year for his birthday, I believe, I sent him I ordered off of Amazon little carabiners and empty little squeeze bottles, and I filled them all with ketchup, and I made fake ketchup labels, and he absolutely loved them. Anyway, just a random side note about ketchup. So this past month, I guess, since I've last talked to you guys, a lot has kind of happened, but I wanted to kind of just stick to the highlights. We went to a concert recently, and that was so much fun. We went to go see Coulter Wall, and this guy named Vincent Neil Emerson opened for him, and he was really, really great. We love that kind of like style of country music, that like old sounding country music. It's so good. It was so fun. And they are both such talented performers and songwriters. It was so much fun to watch them just having a blast up there. I tried to take lots of pictures and videos. It was great. I also got a new phone, which I had been planning on getting a new phone for a while now, but it just so happened to work out that within the last, I guess it was like a week ago now, we finally like switched my phone over and I got a new one. And I have never had the newest iPhone before, but I got the iPhone 14 Pro. I got the dark purple color and I absolutely love it. The camera is just massive and it records in such great quality. This video and my previous video about how to crochet were filmed on my new phone, and it is just like wild how much of a difference. I'm almost embarrassed to tell you what phone I had before because it was so old. But again, Apple releases a new phone every like 3 months at this point. So I literally had the iPhone 8 Plus. So I almost doubled in iPhone generations, and I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to have a new phone, you know? I feel like I'm living in the future with this phone. Like everything's new, all the features are new. I have like the Face ID now, and there's no button on the home screen. It's literally just the screen all around the whole thing, which is weird. Another thing, I'm really excited for the spring this year because springtime is garden time, and I cannot wait to actually grow more plants. The winter here is definitely short. We live in Texas, but it's still cold enough during the winter that you can't keep plants alive outside during the winter. So I haven't grown anything since like October-ish. I think it was October when I finally pulled the plug on my tomato plant last year. But this year we're gonna grow a lot of herbs and more tomatoes, and I'm gonna try okra this year. Last year we tried jalapenos and it worked out great. We got a ton of little baby jalapenos, but they were the spiciest jalapenos I have ever had in my entire life. When we first picked them, I couldn't even eat them. They were so hot. And I like spicy stuff. I'm not a super wimp when it comes to spicy. They were spicy. So we just pickled as much as we could, and now I think that they're more tolerable. But man, those were spicy jalapenos. So I think we're gonna grow okra this year instead of jalapenos. We have limited patio space, so we can only grow so much, but I want to grow tomatoes and okra. Also, like basil and cilantro and sage and all kinds of herbs. It's gonna be really fun. I like growing green onions. They're super easy to grow. I'm just excited for the garden again, so it can be warm enough to be outside again. Crossing my fingers for an early last frost this year so that we can start to grow in things outside. And the last thing I kind of wanted to share with you guys is just a fun little thing that we are gonna do later this year. We are planning to buy a house this year, which is super crazy and exciting. We've been planning for it for a really long time. We've been saving up and everything. It just seems not real, but I guess most things seem unreal before you actually do them. Like even going on vacation, I'm like, yeah, we're going on vacation this year, but it never hits me until we're like literally on the plane or in the car driving to the vacation. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about buying a house. We're very excited. We're like ready for it. We're definitely ready to be out of an apartment. But we're just like, we don't know where it will end up. We are very excited to find out and see what house we end up with. Like that's just wild to me. And I'll be able to like decorate it. We can paint the walls a different color. Oh, it's gonna be so fun and so exciting. So yeah, this year's gonna be a really eventful, positive year, I hope. So far it has been, and we have lots of things planned. We're traveling more than we have in the past few years, and then of course buying a house will be such an adventure, and hopefully as easy as the process of buying a house can be. Let's just pray for that. Yeah, I think that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys, including a random ketchup tangent. So there we are. Now you know a little bit more about me and my family. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. I really appreciate you. If you like this video, like it, subscribe for more knitting, crochet, and book content. Also comment below what you're working on. I would love to know, and go on your knitting and crochet journey with you. Definitely. And also reading. If you're reading any books, let me know. I love hearing what people like to read. But again, thank you for watching. I do really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!